Hello, friends. Happy December. So, today I realized that I never did my December newsletter. I know. I got so caught up in healing that I never put out my newsletter. Oh, friends. Oh, friends. This business of healing. Today I'm taking a break. My arm is out of its sling. Hello. Um, Hopefully by the end of December, beginning of January, I will begin to wean myself of this device. For those of you who are interested in knowing, I did have a total shoulder replacement. The scar is pretty gnarly, which I won't show you because that's why I'm wearing my little scarf here, because otherwise you'd see more than you probably want to. It is long too. It's a good size. So I just feel it's more of a reward for gaining health. Physical therapy is going amazing. I am at phase 2 in my goals, and I've only just started I'm at phase 3 in my goals, and I'm only partway into phase 2. So all of the work I did, the range of motion work I did prior to surgery, totally paid off. And she thinks that I am progressing at a very great pace. And there's actually some talk of doing other physical therapy on other parts of the joints that I've already had replaced. I may have had physical therapy in the past, but there's some stability issues within my hips. So, which creates a shorter stride, a more weird walk, whatever it is that I'm having an issue with. So it's all good though. It's all good. It's just regaining full health. I feel as at my age, getting these replacements, getting these major surgeries and truly traumatic things being done to my body, because my body's still really in shock. There's a lot of inflammation. So reducing that, but I look to these to give me vitality, to give me life back, to give me the freedom of pain as well as freedom of movement. So yay, it's a win for me. And the more that I can, the more that I can maximize the benefits of it by doing my part, like physical therapy, doing what I'm supposed to do or not supposed to do, the more life I can gain out of this surgery. So maximize benefits and rewards. I didn't know exactly what to say in December. To be honest, I could really throw out some sales gimmicks, some whatever, which, I'm going to do because it's my business and it's, really it's how I like to serve. And in that service, make money to keep me well and to keep me solvent, so to speak. Because really, and let's talk about that. I really want to diffuse the talk about the idea of another sales pitch. But these people that are YouTubers, that are entrepreneurs, that are online, that are offering these specials or sales or whatever, you have to understand we're not like a retail corporation where we can absorb that. This is our time. This is all of the learning we've done. It's all of the intuitive connections. It's all the time we've taken to foster the intuitive connections, our understanding of whatever it is we do. So an entrepreneur is not so much just about making money. We're here to serve you, but we're wanting our gifts that we have to support us so that we can serve you, if that makes sense. I'll get off that soapbox because that could be a long tangent. But I want to share something that happened today with me, and I want it to lead into another conversation around the idea of suffering. So, I had a really great therapy session today, probably one of the most emotional therapy sessions where I was really bare and raw. Um, I'm still very teary eyed and very vulnerable. So, what a great time to do a video, you know? Um, I, as many of you may have had this challenge, I have had the challenge of feeling good enough. Um, and that I'm worthy enough for people's love, attention, kindness, um, understanding, belief in whatever it is that I feel I'm desiring. Like I feel like I have to prove my worth. And as I'm ramping up into this idea of having a trauma informed healing center, I'm really starting to wanting to look at my thoughts and beliefs around cash flow, around money, around my body. That's because that's one of the last hurdles that I'm going to go through. As far as my growth, it's like it's bringing the whole back. We brought the head, the heart. Now we need to bring the physical being back into play. And what I'm learning is it's all entangled. For my body, it's all entangled because when my mental and my emotional stability is challenged, I end up food is my go-to. Food is my go-to to feel whatever it is I need to feel. It's that endorphin rush. So the sugar, generally it's sugar, hits my brain and it says, you're okay. And I rely on that to keep me from losing my shit sometimes. And that affects my physical body first before it. And so my physical body takes the brunt of my emotional stability and my mental stability. And there's so much more in this web that I could go into, but I'm not. I'm just going to go into the idea that not good enough. You know, when we're children, we don't realize sometimes that how certain people have played roles in our lives, whether it's teachers, whether it's parents, our environment. I learned today, I guess I made that epiphany today, that my environment growing up as a very small child, like before sixth grade, I would say preschool, kindergarten, and even before that, was very volatile. I lived in a very isolated area. I didn't have friends. There was no neighbor that I could go hang out with. There was no neighbor, parents that were your pseudo parents that you could go. I never had that. So growing up, I never really knew how to make friends. I never really knew how to connect with other children. I always was either with my mother and my stepfather, who at the time, that environment was very volatile. There was alcohol abuse. There was emotional and verbal abuse to, my older sibling. There was threats of physical violence. And then you have, my mother, which I'm sure total emotional, like dysfunction. Like I couldn't imagine living in that situation, having a husband like that, and especially threaten my children. That's not a situation I'd ever want to be in. And it adds another layer of compassion to my mother's situation, and I get it. But part of me realizes I never really gained the skills on how to cope in a world of just normal people, because it was either my grandparents, which were old school, my parents in the house, which were emotionally dysfunctional, and my brother, which we really just fought all the time. We were allies in moments of crisis, but and I know that's where I gained the idea of being a people pleaser, was because if I made everybody happy, no one got hurt and everybody was okay. But then I realized that today that I missed that. Like I felt like I was so much my thought processes and my ideas and my emotionality was so different than the children that I went to school with. So I felt very excluded. And then then we have, as children, we have teachers. Sometimes we have amazing teachers that we love. And sometimes we have teachers that make us feel like we're not enough. And that can begin our process of feeling not enough. Like, if you don't do this, you don't deserve this. So I'll give you a very personal example. When I was in first grade, I had poor penmanship. I'll tell you, I couldn't I couldn't do it. I couldn't I just I had poor penmanship. You could barely read it. I was like, you know how sometimes boys penmanship kind of takes a half a minute to catch up to, you know, I I was worse than that. And twice, the first incident was much worse, but twice in being in first grade, I was kept inside because I was told that I didn't write it perfect enough, and I wasn't allowed to go play and have fun until it was perfect. That to me was like, it was kind of like, as an adult, you take a different look at it other than being, oh, hello, perfectionism. But it made me realize how that fed into that idea that I wasn't enough, and then to be teased as a child because I was so not, I did not fit in. I was so not the cool kid. I was the opposite of the cool kid on the other end of the spectrum. I was weird. I was just not, I didn't fit in. So, in realizing that, I was drawing a connection to the idea of, as I'm healing and as I'm taking time off of work, because I'm not working, I'm creating this narrative in my mind that I'm not worthy of the inflow of money. And like, I feel like I have to do this to be abundant. And while I know we are children of the universe, and while I know just being that entitles doesn't entitle us, it gives us access to the infinite abundance that is available to us in this universe. I feel that if I don't do X, Y, and Z, I am not worthy of that. And it's created this narrative where, we invite ease and grace into our lives, and we want to manifest, and we want abundance, and we want, oh, so much. And we try and we work so hard, and we read the videos, we watch the videos, we read the books, we do all of the things it says to do, but we feel like it's not working. And we just don't know what to do. So for some of us, there's a conversation around the worthiness, the not being enough, and the idea of that we need to suffer because of an action we have done or a belief we have created about ourselves from usually early on. And those are the things that prevents us. And I did a meditation last night, a Hathor meditation. And you remember I used to talk about it with my mentor, Phoenix. We have joytoourworld.space. And I'm telling you, I did this meditation. It was done the day before I had surgery. That's when she recorded it. I listened to it last night, and I just asked them to please help me rewire my brain, because all of the beliefs that I have and all of the ways that I think I need to, all the things I think I need to do to create stability, money, earn money, whatever, is all backwards. And it's actually rejecting it. So I asked him to do some clearing, some rewiring. And then today at therapy, as I'm working through the physical body, realigning my heart and my mind with, and bringing in that idea of my physical body, all of this came up, and all of this felt overwhelming. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm not working, I don't feel worthy of money, time, love, attention because I'm not doing anything. And in and because I do that, I find myself doing things that go beyond my boundary, that go against my that go not so much against, but it sabotages a little bit the time frame I have around goals, around getting somewhere. Like for example, if I spend too much money, it prevents me from investing that money into the things that will help lead me to success within my business and or just life in general. And with that, not only do then I feel I when I see I've done it, I feel guilty for having done it. And I feel sad because I feel like I have to buy people's attention, love, and affection. And I don't. And I know that I don't. But it was a very real understanding for me today that I subconsciously still do the things I thought I've healed. Girl, let me tell you, I thought I have gone through the whole I am enough thing. I have been working at that for 9 years plus some. And apparently it's still a narrative in my mind, but it's changed its tune. Brain, you wily little thing. It's just that my brain thought, okay, yes, we've healed the whole I'm enough thing. We've done that work. But have you done the I am worthy one? So it just took the same idea, concept, narrative and just reworded it. I'm telling you, our brains are like superpowers, but sometimes they can work against us. No, it's truly trying to keep me safe. And it's like the idea of readings. Like I've been wanting to advertise readings and healings, not just being a healer or an energy worker or an angel practitioner. I'd love to do readings for people, and I don't, but I don't. And so yeah. Again, brain trying to keep me small. Um, and it was just an interesting realization. I've also had conversation around, with other people that have talked about the idea of suffering. We've chosen our roles in life, and sometimes these roles that we choose were chosen in a space of lack, in a space of um, desperation or trying to keep the peace. And it's hard to see that we don't need to do it. We don't need to do these roles anymore. It's hard to let go of that. The idea of suffering. Listen to your narratives. I urge you, my friends, my family, to please go back and read some of the texts you have sent to people, especially your friends, when you're talking or venting. Go back and listen. Read it or read it. Some people do like FaceTime or do whatever videos. Go back, listen to them, read them, see what your narrative is, see what you're saying. Are you saying I am judging everyone? Because you have to ask yourself, am I judging myself because I'm projecting all over the place? Is your narrative mostly like, you wouldn't believe this and you wouldn't believe that? Or is your narrative about, I need a space to share for a minute? I'm processing this. Do you have time to listen? And you're taking specific time to talk about what's upsetting you, and the core of what's upsetting you, not just like he said, she said. Is there equal balance, or at least some messages that speak to your idea of gratitude? or enjoyment about, oh my gosh, you would not believe what happened today. I did this thing and I truly loved it. And I'm so glad I did it because I needed that break. It's been really hard. You know, what's your narrative? Where are you at? Because it will tell you what your inner narrative is, because usually what our outer narrative is about people and about our lives is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. And that will give you a starting place to understand where you feel about your life. What are you judging yourself about? Are you judging yourself about not making enough money? Are you judging yourself because, oh my gosh, you know, I need to lose weight? Or are you judging yourself because of your physical appearance? Are you judging yourself because you're using somebody else's standard of success that you're not achieving? What is there? And what does that narrative come from? That belief. Like my belief in that I have to work my ass off to be abundant. That it can't just flow to me because I'm worthy of it, because I'm just a child of the universe. We all have access to the abundance of money. And there is a logical part of me that refutes the miracle of money, but I see it happen all the time. So I just really want you to, for yourself, I'm not talking for anybody else, for the fact of manifesting, for the fact of being abundant, I'm just talking about your own well-being here. To really connect with what your narrative is right now to yourself. And what are you judging yourself for? You know, it's Christmas. A lot of us, my kids are my kids are grown, but a lot of parents have a narrative around what they're like, how much they're getting their kids for Christmas. Or like my mother, I get it. I kind of get it now, that her way of expressing her love is through gifts, and which creates a really shitty narrative for the kids because there's an expectation that comes along with doing that. And while I understand her reason, it's, you know, it's not healthy, an expectation. So check in with yourself, check in with your narrative. Where's your narrative? Is it preventing you from seeing the success that you have? Is it preventing you from seeing the love that is around you? Is it preventing you from allowing the abundance to show up? And not just money, not just money. It could be love, it could be help, it could be whatever it is you're needing. Are you rejecting it? You know, these surgeries teach me so much. You know, you think that they wouldn't because, you know, they're physical. It's a physical thing. But emotionally, they've taught me how to ask for help. They've taught me how to not feel ashamed for asking for help because, hello, Miss Independent over here. This is my 5th surgery. I have gotten a deep understanding at where I feel okay to ask for help. That I feel that asking for help is just recognizing where a situation where, yeah, I probably could muddle through it, but either it's A, not safe, especially with surgery, or B, it could be better if I asked for help. That's how I see it. If I could I could probably muddle through it, but I can make a situation better if I ask for help. And, you know, I've really learned to be able to do that, because that was not in my narrative for a long time, because I didn't believe I had help around me. I didn't see it. My narrative was preventing me from seeing it. So check in with yourself. And let's just take a second. I'm really being asked to ask you to just take a minute, take a breath, Just take all that in and just allow it to just sink in with you, and just be for a second, okay? Just be. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes for me. And let's just breathe. And let's let the tension go from our shoulders. Just drop the shoulders because they're probably up around your ear somewhere. And just take a breath. And just allow your breathing to regulate. It tells your body you're going to go, you're changing the situation. And just allow yourself to just breathe deeply and take just a quiet moment for yourself. I am actually going to pause here, and together, collectively, whenever you see this, whenever you hear this, we're going to collectively take a pause. So I'm going to be silent for about 10 seconds, and we're just going to sit and pause for 10 seconds because I really feel we all need to do that. Okay. Now just keep breathing, and just, if you need to stay here, you can pause the video and stay in the moment if you've reached some space of just release. Or you can keep watching and keep your eyes closed. But let's talk about the holidays. For some of us, the holidays are so hard because of various reasons, whether loss of a family member, whether because your family is a little dysfunctional and you don't quite feel right being with your family because you're so different from them. I urge you to go with your truth, to know who you are, to know and to really go in and recognize what it is you need. And I know it's not possible for some, but where you cannot make the sacrifice to your well-being and choose not to go to family gatherings, please heed that need. It is not wrong for you to say to your parents, I'm not coming home for Christmas. It is not wrong for you to take the time that you need for yourself to create new traditions, to create new ways of coping or thriving within the holidays. Sometimes thriving within the holidays is to be invited to friend's house for Christmas dinner or Hanukkah, or to be a process of their Hanukkah. And, and to not go do the family thing you've done all these. If it feels threatening to your well-being, please heed that need and go where you're loved. Just do it. Because for me, for many reasons, I mean, you can go to the religion thing, you can go whatever your thoughts or beliefs are about that holiday season. But to me, there's one common thing that I think that we all miss, because we're all got these commercials, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday. Let's give, 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 give. Yep. Where are you on your Christmas list? Are you not on it? Are you last? Are you towards the bottom? Where are you on your Christmas list? Or where are you on your giving list? Let's take Christmas out of the equation, depending on what your beliefs are. Because, and it's not like you have to go out and buy yourself everything you ever wanted, but do the one thing that may give you happiness, even just for a day. There is a narrative around self-care that many companies, many businesses capitalize on. And I'm going to pause here for just 1 second because I need to put my sling back on. My arm's been out of the sling a little long. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. Thank you for that. Sorry. Had to put it back in its sling. It's good to have it out for a minute, but sometimes it's too much for too long. Anyways, I digress. Sorry. So there's this narrative around self-care that many businesses have really capitalized on. The idea of, oh, go get a massage, or, oh, I'm going to go get my nails done. And yeah, that is important to do things for yourself that make yourself feel good. But there's a part of self-care that no one really wants to talk about. And that's the kind of self-care of, like, for example, if you struggle with money issues, to begin a routine of being fastidious about learning how to budget your money so that you can spend wisely, therefore decreasing the amount of guilt of feeling like the lack conversation. It could be, as simple as knowing that at work, if you took your 15-minute breaks and take a walk, or even just walked around the building, or even just sat and decompressed for 15 minutes, how different that would make you feel in the course of your day. It's doing that, because yes, you can get so much done in 15 minutes, but the amount that you'll get done after those 15 minutes will make up for those 15 minutes you take. It's about being on time for things. It's about, for some people who struggle with depression, it could be taking a shower. I know some people, and I've been here myself at some point, the idea of just taking a shower can be exhausting, or cleaning your house. And that could mean, and self-care could mean asking for help and saying, I really need help and I'm really struggling. Will you help me? There is no, and for me, that asking for help is part of my self-care. I could talk about feeling embarrassed and shamed around having somebody help me take a shower and being naked in front of somebody and how I would feel. But I'm just so grateful for them to be able to help me take a shower and to feel better mentally, emotionally, that I don't care. Part of me is like, the logic side of me is like, it's just anatomy. But frequently in the past, there was a talk about the shame around being overweight, the shame of, having to wash yourself differently than thinner people. And having to ask for that help and to receive that help, for me, is self-care, because I could not ask, and only when desperate do it myself and do it in an unsafe way. But for me, self-care is asking for help with something you need. Self-care goes beyond spa days, because some of us really, I shouldn't say some of us, some beings have the narrative that they can't do it. They may not have the wherewithal to be able to do it. So you're creating this whole idea of self-care being spa days is creating a level of shame around self-care. Think about it. So there was a time in my life where money was not abundant, and I was super struggling because I didn't understand where I was blocking money from coming in. And there was a time where I could not afford to get my nails done. I could not afford to go get a massage, to get my hair cut, to get my hair done. to get my eyebrows waxed. There was times where I could not afford that. So all these narrative around self-care, and when I was starting to enter the realm of self-care, when everybody's telling me, oh, go get a massage, go get your nails done, go get your hair did, I'm like, well, fuck, I can't afford that. So I can't even take care of myself. So there's another layer of shame. Self-care is so much more than spa days. While that's part of it, it's so much more. It's taking the time to check in with what you need emotionally, what would help you be in a better place emotionally, i.e., doing your budget, or, for example, setting a small goal and reaching it, cleaning your house once a month, if that's what it takes, or asking for help in those avenues where you struggle because the depression is at a level where you can't do those things. I have such a heavy logic side of my brain. I'm very lucky in that. My house can get bad because of the depression. But there's always that one day when the planets are in good places and I'm in a good place, and I'm just like, let's do this. Or I say to my friend, hey, can you come over and just keep me company while I clean? Because I'm just lonely. It's calling a friend and saying, can we talk? I really need human connection right now. That last one is the hardest one for me to do. I've been very fortunate to have friends who know that about me. Who check in and ask me, how am I? And not just how are you, but how are you? How are you feeling? And not just physically, I'm talking emotional. Who know my evading answers. Because a lot of times our depression, our sadness, our isolation stems from lack of human contact. So self-care may be reaching out and saying, hey, can we go for coffee? Sorry, you guys see me cry. I'm not worried about crying, but I could be a hot mess in 10 minutes. We have to get in touch with what it is we need. And it may be superficial at first, what we find out. And as we go deeper, and as we translate some of these things, I need money. Why do I need money? So I can go shopping. To fill the emotional void that I'm feeling. I need this. Why do you need that? Because I feel shame around not being able to provide this for my family or myself. Let's take that time. Let's really go into that space. And if you need help translating, finding the narrative, hearing the narrative, I'm happy to help. We're all going through a level of growth. Any teacher, author, creator, any intuitive, anybody, healer, we're all healing at some level. That's why I really stepped into being more of a peer, giving peer guidance versus life coach. Because we're all in it. We're all at some level of our evolution. Many of us have studied, taken classes, learned, become a teacher. You know, we've done the work to learn to heal ourselves first, so we can help heal you, or help, not so much heal you. I don't heal you. I show you how you can heal yourself and empower you to do that, just that, in whatever way you can. This holiday season, whether you celebrate it or not, take time out for you. Become really clear about what it is you need and what would be best for you, and let's work on creating success around the end of the year. Because I think it's important, especially towards the end of the year, so we can be clear about what we want in 2020. 2020. Either way, you're right where you need to be. And you're doing exactly what you need to do. Just keep taking one step forward. I am available for readings. I am available for just help and guiding, wanting to decipher your narrative, want to understand it, translate it, dig a little deeper. I'm here to help. You need angel healing? I'm here to help. You know that. I'm wishing you so much love, so much compassion, self-compassion, self-understanding, because we're all in it, friends. We're all in it, all of us. But we can be happy and we can find joy even while we're in it. I promise. I promise. I love you, and I've prattled on quite a long time. But I'm here should you need me. And go out and have fun. Play in the snow if you have snow. Take a walk if you don't have snow, like us. You don't have snow. You know, just go outside. Breathe fresh air. Just take even 10 seconds for yourself to just reconnect and not get caught up in what the holidays are supposed to be. They're as much for you as they are for anyone else you want to give to. Take care, my friends. Be well, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others. Bye for now.